As a French woman, I often have people ask me, how do French women stay so elegant without even trying? The truth is, it's not about perfection. It's little habits, a mindset we grew up with that give cette impression, this impression of effortless chic. Today, I'll share those secrets and tips with you so that you can use them in your daily life, and it'll be super useful, especially since now the seasons are changing. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Gabrielle. I'm from Lyon. I grew up in Asia. Now j'habite à Paris. I live in Paris. I share French culture and I speak en anglais et en français, in French and in English, and I'm here every single week, chaque semaine, to share with you French cultural food videos and ma vie à Paris and my life in Paris. So if you don't want to miss other videos, you can go ahead and subscribe. Now let's adopt that Parisian style. In France, there's really the mentality of elegance, not perfection. So what do I mean by this is the French woman doesn't spend 3 hours to get ready and then go to the grocery store. It's more like a well put together outfit. Elegance is not when you try too hard. It's when it's a well thought out outfit, but that's still very comfortable and qui a l'air de rien, which means the impression of effortlessness. Us French women, we really admire each other's ease, like the ease, the comfort of a style and an outfit rather than the extravagance. So before you leave your home, like really feel like this is me, I don't feel so extravagant. I don't feel like I'm wearing a gown, but I feel like I'm wearing something that really represents me, my style, and that is also useful for the activities that I have that day. We like simplicity over excess. So we really like when there's perhaps one thing that stands out, but we don't like when there's too much of everything. Perhaps a beautiful coat, good shoes, clean hair, that's enough. Too much jewelry, too much color, too much makeup, it will seem too much. On a l'impression que ça va être trop. It doesn't feel chic, it feels heavy. It's interesting because I feel like French style is the opposite of many other cultures, because as I grew up in Asia and I previously lived in China, it's quite different. The fashion style is that we're all about subtraction rather than addition. Even Coco Chanel said, as a famous quote, she said that right before you leave the house, look at yourself in the mirror and take one thing off. It's really about having like one or two strong pieces, things that stand out, and not having too much at a time. For example, choose one focus. It can be like, for example, I have this bright red lipstick, or it can be a very bright colored scarf that stands out. Like pick one statement piece and kind of work around that rather than layering, over layering, over layering. I feel like the Parisian French girl definitely has a mindset. They really have a way to carry themselves. I would say that it's confidence, c'est être sûr de soi. So even the way that you walk, walking more upright, the way that you speak, perhaps talking slower and more clearly about what you want to say, it's really a type of mindset. And it's something that I had to learn to do myself, because I think that if we're not told these things, or if we're not aware of these things, we tend to do the complete opposite. Confidence is definitely a true accessory, and how you could apply this perhaps next time you're walking outside, walk 10% slower and just see that how your body is and how your body stands and the position of how you sit. Keep your head up and your shoulders relaxed and back. C'est vraiment la manière de se comporter. It's the way that you act towards other people. It's the way that people see you. Obviously, we don't want to create a whole act. We want to be comfortable. So it might be uncomfortable the first few times you're aware of these things. Mais au fur et à mesure, ça va devenir naturel. It's going to be natural. Discretion is chic. So for example, as I mentioned, if you have a bold lip or if you have a bold bag, you kind of work around that. So if I had a bold lip, I would try not to put crazy colors on eyeshadow. If I had a short skirt or if I had a fancy top, I would try to dress the other parts of my body in a more modest and more natural way. It's really the balance between allure and refinement, trying to find l'équilibre, the balance between something that is well dressed but pas trop, not too much. French women are definitely about authenticity over trends, and this is very hard, I feel, especially in today's world. And I previously was guilty of not doing this at all. I think I went through many phases in my fashion style and life, just as you did. And I think over the years, we really get to know ourselves. We know the colors that match better with our bodies. We also know our body shape, so what types of clothes really put in value, and we really try to keep it. Like French women try to keep it. For example, even for lipstick, if there's a color that you really love, or there's a type of jewelry that you really love, you tend to keep it and it becomes part of your identity, rather than rushing into all the latest trends and trying to copy as many people and as many things as possible. You really need to know yourself and have less amount of things. Personally, I was guilty of this for so many years, especially being around people that hoarded a lot of clothes and hoarding them myself, and being in China where it was just so easy to access so much fashion all the time. It's really a mindset to adopt, and I think my future self or my present self right now is really happy to have these pieces that I often wear, and to understand the colors that I feel more comfortable wearing, and to just know yourself better. And so if you ever have time, try to write it down, write down the things that you feel really comfortable wearing, the colors that represent yourself. Really have them somewhere in your mind, so that when you buy new things, you can perhaps mix and match them with this already existing list, rather than go all over the place. We have this seasonal mindset too, that is par rapport à la saison. So for example, now we're going de l'été à l'automne, from summer to autumn. And French women, we really love to add on layers. So for example, we will keep a lot of our summer outfits that we feel very comfortable in, or clothes that we already have, and that we will style them for autumn just by adding a few more things. If you want to know like specific tips on how to dress, for example, the French essential clothings that we have, I could make a video about that. For autumn, for example, specific autumn outfits that French women we like to wear, I could also make a video about that. So comment below if you would want to see a very specific seasonal style video, parce que j'aimerais faire ça. I would love to do that. Now on to wardrobe habits. If I had to pick something that I had the biggest change in my life in the last 10 years, it would definitely be wardrobe habits. And I also think it's the beauty of living in France now and living in Paris, is that it really aligns with my wardrobe values. So what is that? Us French women, we really invest in timeless pieces. So let me give an example. Instead of buying 5 trendy tops in the summer that you thought were nice, you'd rather invest in like one very nice, good quality top, or into one blazer that you're gonna wear for years, que tu vas porter pendant des années. Whether it's a well-fitted coat, whether it's a blazer, whether it's good quality shoes, it's really about, will you be wearing this in the future? They are really important foundations, because these are usually items that build up your wardrobe, because you can layer and style them in many different kinds of ways, while just like one nice trendy top, it will be harder to style. Fewer clothes, better quality. Moins de vêtements, une meilleure qualité. This is very, very true about Parisian and French women, is that, for example, instead of buying their shirts at Primark or H&M, a very low quality t-shirt, they will really invest into a t-shirt qui est de très bonne qualité, that's very good quality, and that they can wear for a long time. You'll actually notice that French women, we often repeat our pieces. So whether it's a blazer or a white shirt or a pair of jeans or a pair of pants, we'll repeat them very often. If you've seen quite a few of my videos in the past year, I often wear very similar pieces. So it's about repeating pieces often, but just styling them differently. I would recommend for you to create like 5 go-to outfits that you really love, and to kind of mix and match and repeat them often, because we all know that we have those pieces of clothing or that dress or that top that's been in our closet for so long that we've probably worn only twice. So instead of having it gather dust there and just stay there without anyone ever seeing them, perhaps sketch out 5 outfits that are your go-to outfits, and that will also actually save you a lot of time. Tu vas gagner beaucoup de temps, parce que plutôt que de choisir choisir, you know, the choosing what to wear. I think every girl and every woman, we struggle for this. It will change our lives. I have one personally on my notes that is kind of like the go-to depending on the type of day I have. And so, you know, whether I'm going to an event or whether I'm working in a cafe or whether I'm working meeting clients, I really need to have some styles that are set that, you know, of course I can change the accessories, the bag, etc. but that stay the same, qui reste pareil. Comme ça, je perds pas de temps so that I don't lose time and I feel less stressed and I feel very prepared. Earlier, I was saying authenticity over trends. Well, now for accessories, it's exactly the same. Rather than following what other people do for their accessories, really find certain accessories that you personally really love. For some French women, it can be a specific scarf, it can be a specific necklace, it can be specific types of earrings, and it's ones that we often wear because most of these things can be put onto outfits very easily, and it's kind of like our statement pieces. We don't have tons of jewelry, we don't have tons of scarves, and most of us don't have tons of bags. It's really statement pieces that we can really repeat and that represent us. For beauty rituals, I could make a whole entire video about this because I think beauty rituals really change from country to country and from region and from type of people. But for French women, we're really big on skincare. I think you must have heard of a lot of French skincare brands, and that's because a lot of us, we really want the foundation to be very healthy. La peau doit être très saine, so the skin base is our foundation, and then makeup comes after. So we really have an important skincare routine adapted to our skin, but that does not mean there are 6 steps. Most of the time, there are only a few steps which involve cleaning and hydrating. If you want to see that video about the skin, let me know. And now for the hair, pour les cheveux, we're really about like effortless hair. So I think growing up, I really struggled with my type of hair. I didn't like that it was not perfectly straight or not perfectly curly, that it was wavy. And over the years, we really come to embrace our natural features. And I really like that about today, is that more and more women were really embracing our natural features. A lot of French women, you know, they usually don't dye their hair into different colors, or they keep it very natural. I personally don't dye my hair. And also, whether it's the haircut, whether they want like extra short haircuts, which I think are very elegant and very classy, or long hairdos, it's always done in a way that is effortless chic. So when they do hairstyles, whether it's like a bun or just want to put your hair up quand il fait chaud, when it's hot, it's trying to keep it most natural possible. We will not spend more than 5 minutes usually doing on hair, or like 10 minutes max. I wanted to talk about the French lifestyle, and that's because it's indirectly related to the French style. I think the way a person lives, the way a person thinks, the way a person feels, you can really feel it in their own style. And having recently come back from my summer travels, whether it was in India or in the US, I definitely learned some differences. One of the big ones, I would say, is that us French women, we eat with pleasure, not guilt. And you're gonna say, what does this have to do with style? It has to do with style because it also has to do with our attitude and how we see life. We really enjoy food, we enjoy fresh food, and we don't eat in huge portions, and we eat quite slowly. We really, l'art de la table, you know, I've made videos in the past talking about how we really enjoy a meal with other people, and that's why they make fun of us French saying that we eat for hours and hours. And I think it's because we really have this mindset of eating with pleasure and not guilt. And of course, this has a direct impact in your style and then the way you act. So if I had any tips, I would say that even if you're alone, even if you're sitting alone, really savor your meal. And me too, you know, it happens to me. I love to watch something while I eat on weekends or when I don't have too much time, but I still mentally tell myself I want to enjoy this meal. You know, I don't want to see all my mails and notifications and all of these outdoor things. I'm going to shut my phone off and I'm just gonna watch this video, you know, and really appreciate my meal. And so enjoying this and acting like this really reflects on your French woman's lifestyle. Elegance is not just in style, dans mon opinion, in my opinion. Elegance is also in the way you talk. Speaking softly, listening wisely, and also choosing your words and your sentences with intention. It's almost as elegant as une petite robe noire, as a little black dress. It's really there to show people that you care about them and also that you're aware of what you're gonna say and what you're hearing. And so next time you're with friends or colleagues, it's important to hear them out and also to ask questions and really just be present. I'm actually so happy to be back in France because I'm looking forward to really having these cozy autumn cafe terrace moments, whether it's alone or whether it's with people, and really just being present with the person that I've chosen to spend time with. And lastly, what we avoid, which is, you know, a generalization, it's not specific to every French person, but there are a few rules out there concerning style. The first one would be not to wear overly branded logos. So when I used to live in Asia, I noticed that the women there love to wear logos over logos over logos, which in the French woman's opinion, c'est trop. It's a bit too much. You know, if you have one branded thing, let's say you have a branded bag, you're gonna kind of have a more laid back, neutral outfit. Or if you have a branded scarf on the other hand, then you're gonna have the rest of the outfit that is gonna be less branded. Over complicated makeup looks or accessories. So really, you know, having too much makeup, too much colored eyeshadows and everything, which, you know, besides Halloween or besides some celebration can be fun, but not for your everyday. It's a bit too much, French women find. And same with jewelries. You know, I know some women love wearing like a ton of rings, ton of bracelets, you know, 2 necklaces and really large earrings. I also, for example, have large earrings, which if you saw on my Instagram, I really like wearing gold statement earrings. But if you notice, the rest of the outfit, the rest of the style is going to be more neutral. Something that I noticed is that in other countries, a lot of people like wearing gym clothes outside. In France, this is not a thing at all. We usually wear gym clothes coming out of sport, or for example, if you really just spent the whole day at home doing laundry or really a rest day. But in the day-to-day, we don't wear gym clothes. And when I was in the US, sometimes I felt a bit overdressed because I felt like a lot of people were in fitness wear and gym clothes. And what about you? Do you often wear gym clothes in your day-to-day? But I have to say it is comfortable, but personally, I think there are different ways to have comfortable, stylish clothes that perhaps I can do a video on about how to stay extremely comfortable yet extremely stylish both at home and when you go out. But at the end of the day, you can just ask yourself, will this make me feel myself or feel chic in 5 years? And I feel like this question impacts a lot of things. It impacts your buying habits, wardrobe habits. It also impacts the way you're gonna go outside, when you're gonna meet people. It also really makes you be aware of your style at the moment and who you are, which personally was never a question I'd ask myself until I moved to Paris, because I can really feel that French women and Parisian women, it's something that they really keep in mind, you know, whether they're buying, whether they're going through their closet, whether they're wearing this outside. It's une question très importante, very important question. I really hope staying elegant and stylish in these different aspects of life was useful for you. And if you want me to make a French autumn styled video, I could make that, perhaps using some pieces and showing you what it looks like. I would love to do more videos like that. Just remember that fashion is not my profession. It's something that I really enjoy and really like sharing. And throughout my whole life, you know, even living in Asia, people have always said, tell us tips and hacks about the French woman's lifestyle and her sense of style. So I love making videos like this, and I look really forward to making another one. Merci for spending this sweet, cozy moment with me and Maymay. And if you'd like to know more about French culture and also about Paris, you can make sure to subscribe so I can see you dans la prochaine vidéo, in the next video. So for now, merci beaucoup et à bientôt!